All right. So here, what do you think? As a pilot, you would be very curious to know what would be the schedule like, how would be the pilot's life like if in case you have a flight at any time in 24 hours. So it could be either at midnight, it could be early morning, it could be in the afternoon or evening to start with. It is very different than the 9 to 5 job that you would have seen in most of the people that are doing around, and hence it distinguishes the pilot's life as well as the profession from majority of the other careers. So this is one of the major difference. Apart from that, if you have a flight, let's say in the evening, and you have the flight throughout the night, you have to plan your day accordingly. You have to be well rested before the flight. It doesn't just go that okay, now you are called for the flight and then you prepare and then just go.
Alright, speaking about the rest part, how much rest do you think is really good, or what is recommended, or how do you rest, and how do you think that you can go on a party and then the next day you have a flight?
No.
Does that work?
So ideally you need to be rested for 8 hours, which is on an average majority of human beings require that much of rest, and before the flight ideally it is 8 hours. Of course, if you are going for a party, then yes, you need to ensure that you are not under the influence of alcohol before the flight. It is not a certain period of time. It would range from at least 15 hours to 24 hours depending on the intake. You should definitely avoid intake.
And what about things that are non-alcoholic but
Okay, those are prohibited. If in case now the new DGCA circulars have come up, which will come up with the random drug test, and yes, of course, it is very important that no one as an aviator and as a pilot should be under the influence of that when it comes to flying and flight safety.
Yes. So, totally being a pilot, you should stay away from all the things which are banned for your flight.
Yes.
You should not consume that things. Speaking about my student life, when I was a student pilot, what we used to get from the flight school was like a schedule or a roster in the airline terms. Every day at around 4 p.m. we used to get the schedule for the next day, and depending on what time we get our flight, we used to plan our day. So let's say tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I have my flight, so I would sleep early. I would sleep by 9-10, and morning I would report at around 5:30, and depending on the weather I would decide to go for the flight or no.
So here in the airlines, the roster we call it as, and that is published on about 28th of every month for the next month. So once we get the roster, we can plan our rest and our days off, as well as when we have a flight we can plan our rest as well. So once you have the plan, because of the different changes, let's say if you have early morning flight at 5 o'clock reporting, depending on your transport time, 1 hour let's say, and then before that you take about 45 minutes to 1 hour to get ready. So you have to work in the reverse way every time. So 5 o'clock reporting, so I wake up at 3 o'clock, get ready by 4, leave by 4:15, and then reach the airport. So the transport time generally considering all the flight duty time limitations is 45 minutes, which is assigned to you already, which is the average transport time. But if in case you stay away, which would take more time, or if you have a traffic at that point of time, then you need to cater for that. So we always need to work in reverse and then plan for it. Execute the flight. So 3 o'clock you have to wake up. You must sleep by 7, considering the 8 hours of rest period. 7 in the evening you go to bed. Then you need to ensure that day in the morning you wake up early, and you need to work in the reverse way. Yes. That's how it is.
I believe that pilot's job is 24/7. So you have to sleep at any time. You have to wake up at any time depending on your schedule.